Welcome back to Where Did I Put My Glasses? I am your host, Carmen, and I am back with my friend, Antwan Washington.
How
Say
you
hello.
doing?
Thank you for joining me here again. It is always
always,
a pleasure talking to
always a pleasure.
you. Okay, guys, before we get started, you can follow him where?
On IG at Get Next Up Fit 5 for all your personal training needs. And you can also follow me on IG at Twee, the number 5, Denali, Denali. That's why I do my music at. So you can show some love right there too.
Exactly. Today we are back, guys, to discuss perspective. So recently, I was invited to listen in on a panel of men who discussed their perspectives of their sexual experiences with women. And God,
Hmm.
they they felt as if women complain about how men do not perform in bed, and the truth was women were not good in bed, and they also talked about their different experiences. So, and so I'm gonna say this: it wasn't about their perspective, right? Because everyone has their own sexual experiences, relationship experiences, and things like that. It was the way they discussed it as if they were bitter or angry.
Mm.
And I know with you, you are calmer. And I feel like discussing it with you, you wouldn't attack and you would discuss your perspective respectfully.
Most definitely.
So I felt like this would be a great topic to discuss with you because I thought it was interesting. One, because I want to hear everyone's perspective. I like to hear what people are thinking, what's on their mind, what they think about various topics. That's why I love podcasting. But the negativity was making me think, could it be they are bad in bed and they are getting negative responses from women, which is
Mm.
making them bitter? Or they just came across tons of women who were just terrible as partners and terrible as sexual partners. So
I
we are
agree. I
here
agree with
now.
both of those. Actually, I agree with both of those. Like, you know what I'm saying? In a sense where it might definitely have to do something with the person. If a
Mm-hmm.
person has so many experiences where they come back and they just say, you know what, all these women are trash and all this stuff like that, it might be you. It might be you. But that doesn't take away from he may or that person may have had experiences with, you know, these young minded women, you know. So I would say it's a little bit of both. It definitely can be a little bit of both on both ends.
It was honestly, it was four of them, and they weren't. Yes, they were angry. They were angry, but they weren't disrespectful by any means. So I
Oh,
shouldn't say disrespectful. They were just more like upset, and it was coming off as anger. And some people were like offended, I guess, on the podcast instead of listening. And I find that in this like culture, this age, I'm grown. I don't really try to internalize other people's opinions or lifestyles or anything like that because theirs is their own. But I felt like people were personally feeling as if those men were attacking them versus listening to what they had to say. And I was there to listen. So I have a lot of questions.
I think I think we can solve a lot by there's just that statement right there that people came on to somebody else's podcast to not listen, only only to project their thoughts. So that lets you know about that person too as well, because I think a lot of what's going on is just not listening to your partner.
Hmm.
Mm.
I believe that because one of the men did say he is now married now, and that he is complete with his partner. He was talking about, and if people would have stayed on and listened, right, they would have heard the part that the other gentleman
Mm.
was discussing, his past relationships and past sexual relationships is now married and is happy and loves his wife. His wife loves him, and he's in a good relationship.
Boom.
But they didn't stay on to hear that because they were just attacking, you know?
Instantly. Yep.
Yeah. So it was a good conversation overall, but I wanted to hear it from someone who wasn't going to say, like, you know, even though I curse on here, I just don't feel like calling the females bitches. But that's what they were saying, you know,
Oh
bees and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
all that other stuff. And I do curse, but it's more like shit or fuck or, you know, things like that. I'm not here to call anybody derogatory names, but that's what they were doing. And I think
Right, on
that's
a
what
professional
offends me.
level.
Yes.
Right.
So now, do you enjoy dating? Because they were talking about that. They were talking about how they did not like dating at all. They just preferred finding one special person. So I'm not trying to put anything in your head. But do you enjoy dating or do you prefer finding one special person?
I definitely prefer finding one special person because you know dating it's fun after a while. Then after a while, you just like you know what I'm saying you spending hella money, you wasting your time. You know you you running into all these different type of energies. You feeling drained. So I would definitely say I prefer to find one person that you can just vibe with, chill with, you know, spend your time with. Most definitely.
See, you know what? That's what they talked about. But they talked about more like, oh, see, women just want to date because they want all your money and they just want you. And a woman put up a post recently and this man was going off on her because she asked, can they go out on a date? And he was, you just want my money, and that's what's wrong with you hoes, and da 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 da. And I was like, oh my gosh, I do date, but that's because I work a lot. I'm in the house, you know. I am outside. Let me not, you know, pretend I'm always in the house, but I am outside. But my environment is not conducive to meeting a lot of people, like men, rather more women and
Right.
networking. So in order to date, I do the dating app. So I do go out on dates. However, I did explain to you the dating pool got pee in it. So it may not be, you know, of good quality. So
Right.
I'm dating more than usual because I haven't found anyone who I feel is in sound quality. And even to me, I feel like a date is simple as grabbing some coffee and taking a walk by the water. It
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
have
what
to.
I'm facts.
But I think people think dating is, oh, let's go to, you know, this expensive restaurant and you have to buy me steak in order. A man can spend tons of money on you and still go home to his girlfriend or to it doesn't an expensive date doesn't constitute a quality conversation or a quality connection.
True. Very very true.
Yeah. Right now I prefer dating. That's only because right now it got pee in it and it's not. I don't know how it's going on in Florida over there,
Well,
but over here in California, pee all in
ain't
the pool.
ain't nothing wrong with that though. It ain't nothing wrong with meeting people. Like, you know, that's what it's there for. You meet people. I think through meeting people as well, you start to understand yourself too as well. So I'm not gonna lie and say from those experiences when I was dating, that let me know who I was. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, I don't want that. That let me know what I like, what I don't like, you know, like so that, you know, I'm grooming myself for when I do find that special person or whatever, then I'll be ready. So if you don't go out there and put yourself out there, you ain't gonna really know what you like too. So it ain't nothing wrong with going out, going on a date, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, it ain't even gotta be expensive. It can be as simple as going somewhere like a mutual place where we can talk, you know, and catch a vibe or do something. So ain't nothing wrong with going out and go get no dates, you know. Do your thing.
Now, when you are like, so when you do have a special person, right? And you find that person, you're like, okay, I can kick it with this person. This can evolve into a relationship, or it does evolve into a relationship. Do you prefer having more than one sexual partner than the person you're with? Like, you're my person. I rock with you. Like, we are building. We are going to continue to build. However, sexually, I need, because that was one of the things that they discussed, that they felt like with women, they don't understand that just because they love you or they care about you, penis sometimes wants other things, and it doesn't take away from their love. It's just sometimes they just have to have sex with somebody else.
That's a. I understand being a man. I definitely understand what they mean about them urges and them temptations and stuff. But I think that's what it's. That's all it just is. Not saying that I've been a victim of it, but I would say in my opinion, I prefer to only have one sexual partner because um for the simple fact of, if they don't feel comfortable with me having multiple partners, I ain't gonna feel comfortable with them having multiple partners. So it's like on a mutual respect level, having accountability for each other to, like, to keep it real, to keep it true. You know what I'm saying? So now, in hindsight or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying, like, if I meet somebody that we on a mutual page and we say, you know what, at this point in our lives, you know what I'm saying, I do fuck with you, I know what I'm saying, I'm rocking with you and everything, you know what I'm saying, but I'm living my life and I want to, not, just be me, and then we on the same page, and that's something different. But I think a lot of times it comes from, like, oh, your wife or whoever that person was, they think you being faithful, you know what I'm saying, but you really ain't. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little different. You know what I'm saying? When you both on the same page, like, okay, yeah, we doing our thing. But, usually it's, oh yeah, I'm locked down right here, but I'm out here doing my thing. So that's where it become a little weird.
Exactly. Like, I feel like, and one thing I can say, right? I am a little open minded, and I get attacked by women by this, and I tell them, like, I love all of us. Don't attack me. One woman told me on the panel that I got low self esteem. I say, I wish you met me and knew me that no, I'm not. So I've been in a lot, not a lot, but I've been in a few poly relationships, and I practice mostly. Well, not. It depends, right? If I find a person that I truly like, and it's like, okay, I want to be with you, and I don't want to be with anyone else, that's fine, right?
Right.
But as of lately, I've been mostly interested in poly relationships, right? And let me explain why. When I was in New York, I was with someone who he loved women and women loved him, right? But we fucked with each other heavy. I did not like him fucking with everybody else, and it became a constant battle of us fighting all the time, but we never broke up. And if I tried to break up with him, it would be hella pain, right? So I was like, well, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm gonna find me somebody that I fuck with too, since he fuck with her. And I end up finding, and I'm not gonna say names or whatever. I end up finding somebody, and I know it sounds weird. The person was kind of similar to him, tall, light skin, tattoos. It was like the same person, just one was Spanish and one was black. So I was dating the same person.
Yeah, I know he ain't like that.
oh, he did not like that at first. Oh, every chance he can get, it was just a battle. They were like arch nemesis, right? But when I broke it down to him and explained, I have needs just like you have needs. And if you're going to go out and you're going to enjoy your life and have fun, I should be able to have someone that I can enjoy life with and who understands I'm in a relationship, whether it's toxic or not. And we're together, but I enjoy spending time with you. I enjoy doing things with you, and this is what it is. And this vice versa with you and your person. They know that you're in a relationship with me, but y'all enjoy doing stuff and da 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 da. And we ended up, the fighting stopped, and we became closer. And eventually, the people went away. Because we after a while we realized, yes, we like those people, but I like you more, and I love you actually, and I don't want to do this. And the other people slowly faded away because we allowed each other to have our temptations and our urges. It does not work for everyone. Yes, I understand that. And there's a lot of conversations that need to go into that because you're having sex with more than one person. So you have to be realistic. Like, are you using condoms? Did you get tested? You know, those hard conversations have to come now. For the most part, I enjoyed that, and I've practiced that over the past few years. And I don't know if that's why I'm single, because I like to date more than one person, or if it's to my benefit because then I'm easily able to recognize what I like and what I don't like.
Mm. I think I think all that is just communication. Even with you and the dude in New York, you know what I'm saying? That was a form of communication. And that's what drew you closer. When you communicate and you really express your feelings and you be truthful, that's when that real bond happens. And then y'all can start to decipher, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to cut out all the bullshit, you know what I'm saying, and keep the real around. So I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Don't be doing this stuff if it ain't you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they just jumping into things or whatever, and it really ain't them. You know? I think with you and yourself, you being true to yourself. And I know this for a fact. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know you personally. Like, you being truthful to yourself. So it's easy to be you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy to communicate too. It's easy to find other people to communicate with that about when you start to be your true yourself. The universe is gonna reward you. You know what I'm saying? So I think just being truthful to yourself and you living your own life, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't not like to confine to norms, you know what I'm saying? People should be able to live how they live or whatever, as long as they communication and they doing their thing, you know what I'm saying? So I think in your case it's just being honest. I think that's what everything is lacking, like honesty, you know what I'm saying, with all these problems that we have.
Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
just, because like when people look at it, they're looking like, oh, well, you're just looking at it for sex, and it's not, right? Because there's a difference. There's a difference between intimacy and sex. Now, like with you, what is your perspective like between like on intimacy versus sex?
That intimacy is on a whole another level than sex. Like, you know, like sex is fun, you have it, but when you're done with sex and you're not really feeling that person or that connected to that person, you ready to go to the crib, you ready to knock out, you ready to just end the night. You know what I'm saying? It was fun, it was nice, you cool, but that's about it. But when you intimate with somebody after that sex, you know what I'm saying, you want to stick around. Like, you know what I'm saying, you might want to go for round two or like, you know, or whatever the case may be, for real. So I think that's where it differs at. Like, you know what I'm saying, you actually feel connected to the person instead of you just being inside of them.
That is true. That is true because I feel like intimacy, what people don't understand, like with women, we're internal and men
Mm.
are external. So when men are inside of us, we are feeling everything, or your emotion, whatever you feeling throughout that day, we feel that because you
Mm-hmm.
are transferring it to us, right?
Right.
And
Right.
so naturally, as um, nurturing individuals, we want to nurture and heal whatever it is that we are feeling through that act, right? So
Right.
when it's done, we want to be able to like to hold you or talk to you or just be there in your presence, because sometimes it is a release, right? You're releasing from whatever it is, and we can feel that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And when a man is only looking for a release and those lines are blurred, that's where I feel like women get hurt. Or some women, right?
Right.
And if a man doesn't know how to be intimate with a woman and they only know how to have sex, it can cause it to not feel like pleasure. It could just feel like pain, you know?
Right. But you already said it. Dame pool got pee. So if you already know the Dame pool got pee, you gotta have filters, right? So
Mm-hmm.
now observation, one of your first senses, you know what I'm saying? You use your observation, you start to see this person, you're attracted to them, and you know you want to protect your energy. That's up to you now. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of time women, you know what I'm saying, they wanna be vulnerable and protect themselves, but they still go after the dude that they know finna fuck them over. Like, you know what I'm saying? The dude give you, like, I don't know how many times I can tell you or show you or not, or show that I'm not interested, or like, you know what I'm saying? You might throw a question at me, I might dodge it. I don't know how many times I got to do that, but you still don't get the signs that after we fuck, it's just gonna be that. Like, you know what I'm saying? We can fuck again. That just keeping it real though. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
now you become hurt for some reason when you already seen, the outcome. So I think, what I'm saying, when you know it got pee in the pool, you gotta have some filters. So I think that's how you can protect your energy in that way. That's women and men, same shit.
No, that is true because like I've noticed like I refuse to have sex with anybody I don't like or I don't feel like likes me because I'm not big on like when girls like, oh well you don't want to just no when so people get it twisted when I say that I date. I have people be like, well, how do you have sex with so many? You have sex with everybody you go on dates with. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
right,
so
right,
confused. Like, so people are out here having sex with just anybody?
right.
Uh-uh. I love my little hot pocket, my vagina. I don't need all these, this in there. No, this what toys are for. Sorry, Antwan, but that's what they for. I don't need that. Okay, they make them, they're available, and I'm fine. Like
Right.
when I'm dating solely to find a connection, an intimate connection, so I can move forward.
Mm.
But I think that that's what the problem is too. When I hear it from women, and we're discussing these different topics, that they are getting intimate fast with someone who they were just either supposed to only have sex with or go on a date with.
Yep, that's what ended up happening.
Mm.
And it comes back to having that conversation, communication, being honest, being
Mhm.
upright honest, and expecting honesty from the other person, and then knowing signs when somebody ain't honest, like, the little telltale signs how they communicate with you, so you can tell that, okay, he or she beating around the bush with this, what I'm saying, so you can just keep it real on the table. I mean, hey, it is what it is. So is this what you want, or it ain't what you want, and then we all good.
Now, now this right here, let me tell you. So when they were talking about, intimacy and sex and then having multiple sex partners and things like that, they were talking about how women how can I'm trying to put it where it don't sound as crazy as they were saying it. Oh well, women, they what they don't understand is they are like, oh, my pussy wetter than yours and my pussy tighter than yours and da 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 da, and they fighting, but in all actuality all pussy feel this is not better than hers and da da da, like they were like going off, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I don't know, I've never heard it.
Oh.
So they were animate about all vaginas feeling the same. Now I know that is not a fact
The
because
lie detector said that was a lie.
yeah.
That's a lie.
Mm-mm.
Like, go
Because
ahead, go ahead.
what I'm just saying, like as a woman, like when I do decide to have, you can tell by the way they sound when they enter it, like they ain't never had this before. Like like you can tell there's a difference, and I don't understand how they were animate about all four of them were saying all vaginas feel the same.
And and let me not, what I'm saying, presume maybe that is true for them, because and I ain't finna throw no shots at them or nothing, but what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
we got a lot of soulless people walking around out here that don't feel
That's
shit. So, what I'm saying, whatever they traumas is or whatever done got them, they can't feel, like, what I'm saying, that whatever they trying to feel, what can't feel, or saying somebody else got it, don't got. So I know for me, from my personal experience, when I enter somebody too, what I'm saying, I know you say we kind of external, but I can still feel as well, what I'm saying, like, where home at, in the sense where, what I'm saying, how you feel, like when you in there, like, damn, like this feels good with this person, instead of it just being, oh, it's just sex. Like, what I'm saying, yeah, it all gonna be sum up to sex, but this feels better with this person right here. For some reason, I feel a little bit more comfortable. I can get a little bit more wild, or it just feels, what I'm saying, and it is a such thing too. Like, well, it depends on how you turn the girl on, but back on the topic, I think, what I'm saying, these people aren't allowed themselves to feel, what I'm saying, especially if they with somebody that, could probably fulfill that need.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And that was different because they went on to talk about like, oh, because the women they all just laying there. and they not moving, and we got to do all the work. And then if we ask them to get on top, they get all lazy and they're not doing anything. So I have to visualize porn in my head, and you think I'm closing my eyes because your vagina feel good. No, I'm closing my eyes because I'm thinking about what porn I watched to get off, or a woman that I had sex with 2 weeks ago that knew how to do this. It's not you. It's the I'm visualizing. And I was like, oh, that is hurtful or harmful. But I
That's
still
sad.
listen. But I was like, well, why would you want to have sex with somebody you gotta visualize a porn or someone else with?
That's sad. That's really sad.
I thought that was. And then I went on to say, so I was saying like sometimes with women, right? If they're if a man's dick is too big, like, and we have this discussion plenty of times, and we've had it on Tequila Tuesday, and I've had it just table talk with the girls, right? If a dick is too big, what are you? Your only thing you can do is lay there. I can't move. It hurt. It feels like I don't care how wet I am or how many times I came because you went down on it, whatever the case may be. It's too big. And no, I can't get on top because I'm not a horse. It doesn't fit. So a vagina only fits about 6 to 7. Even though we can push out a whole child, it only allows room for about 6 or 7 inches of penis. So
Fun fact.
if you put in your girthy 9-10 inch penis in there, the only thing I can do is lay there and shout because I'm in pain. You are in my chest.
Right.
Sir.
And that I feel like even in that though, that's a serious ass topic though. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's like, you know what I'm saying, playful, that's a serious ass topic in the sense where you care about your partner that you're having sex with, because
Mhm.
I feel like you should get joy from having them, you know what I'm saying, getting joy. So in a sense, well, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you know what I'm saying, like it depends on the partner though. You know what I'm saying? Some people do like it rough. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But now you gotta understand who you know what I'm saying? Now you gotta be a real player there. So now you know who you dealing with. You know how to please every woman. You know what I'm saying? Some might like it rough. You might can do your thing, go to town. Then you might have something that you might just have to chill and understand. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it go back to that trauma, like you just releasing all that, you know what I'm saying? You ain't even really caring about the person that you know what I'm saying, laying down with. So it get
Exactly.
deep. Mm-hmm.
And like I said to him, I said, a woman will please you. Like they want to. And vice versa. A man is gonna want to please you, but if they are feeling that connection. But if they're feeling like you're just driving in them, their body's gonna automatically go into trauma mode. And
Well, I think we should go ahead and bring sight to what type of culture we into. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's where that's what's being fed in the media. Like that's what, like, you know what I'm saying? Porn is a multi-billion-dollar industry. People watching that shit daily. Little kids can get access to it. So when they watching it, they only see these crisis actors on there, you know what I'm saying, getting paid to do these things. And you feel like, oh, that's the only way it's done. And then also it being rewarded too. So I think we all should take fault and it being groomed that way. So it comes from that too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially being a male coming up with all these, like, you know what I'm saying? What you call those? The stereotypes and what you need to do and how to please a woman. You growing up hearing that, and then you doing something else, then you know what I'm saying? You getting shunned for doing everything. You know what I'm saying? Been there, seen that. So I understand why as soon as they get in there, they're trying to tear you up and get up out of there. Like, you know, so that's the thing. Get rewarded for. So, you know.
yeah, uh-uh. People do not tear me up. I don't want I don't understand. Like how don't do no, I don't want that. No, no, no. That is traumatized. I'm not the one. But I am at the point in my life where I am able to discuss sexual experiences with the person that I'm with because I'm not childish. What I like and what I don't like, and it allows me to have that fun. Because in my last relationship, he used to tie me up. I'd be sitting there like a turkey, just we did everything you could possibly think of, swings, everything. Like, but it didn't feel like I was being hurt or anything like that because it was intimate and we talked about it and we made sure everything that we tried was not to hurt or harm, but just to please. And so
Right.
you can have great sexual experiences with your partner as long as you know how to communicate.
I don't think people understand that.
Like the sex can be fun, and that's what because they were like, oh, that women do not know what to do in bed. Now they said almost every woman that you've been with has not, and I'm like, well, that's not true. And I know my other friend that was listening, her and I discussed, things that we do, and we even like, okay, well, we could try that and have that work for you. So I know there's not women just laying there and just. Do you feel like all women don't know what to do in bed?
That's not true at all. I think I'm always tied back to the energy that you give off to as well. So depending on who you dealing with, you know what you finna get in return. Like if you're going after these people, like it depends on the type of person that you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? You got somebody that gonna sit there later, then you already know what type of energy that you bring in and what she bringing. But then you know what I'm saying, you got somebody that feel comfortable with you and you allow them to feel comfortable with you in that way. You know what I'm saying? We smooth it in now. Now we open to try a whole bunch of things. So I don't totally agree with women not knowing what to do. Have I met women that don't know what to do or just doing too much? Yes. You know what I'm saying? Because there's such thing as doing too much. But
Okay,
you
wait. So
know,
what's doing too much, just in case? Because what if we are out here, we may be doing too much, and we don't know what's doing too much.
I'm gonna say this. I'm big on, I keep saying energy, and I'm gonna say rhythm too as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep saying there's a lot of people out here with no soul, so they ain't got no rhythm, right? So I say you doing too much is when you all out of whack, you just bouncing up like a rabbit, like you know what I'm saying? You just doing all too much. Just doing a little too much. Ain't no rhythm to it, you just senseless with it. That right there, that's a little turn off. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have some type of flavor, some type of rhythm to, you know what I'm saying, make me wanna buzz or something.
Yeah.
So I definitely had some experiences where somebody was just doing like hold on, chill. Yeah. So I think that's too much right there.
Well, okay, yeah, because the other guy was saying that, oh, when a woman is giving you head and you telling her right there, and then she switched up and do something different, it was like, oh, his exact words, you stupid bitch. That's not what I
Oh
told you
damn.
what to do. And I was like, yo, like I was just sitting, I was confused. Like I was trying to listen. I had to get off after a while because I was like, I don't know how y'all are married. The women that y'all are with, more power to them. Y'all said
Right.
y'all happy. They weren't there, so I don't know. But it was like, wow, maybe they are not pleasing you because this is how you're interacting with them.
Facts. Facts. He ain't wrong in the sense where I was saying like rhythm. You have a certain type of rhythm. You do shit that your partner like. You know how to
Mm.
do it in and out of it. Smooth transitions. You know what I'm saying? All that get checkpoints. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, look how you talk. Like you know what I'm saying? Look at like you know what I'm saying. From his point of view, look how you talking to that person. You know what I'm saying? So that just show you how much y'all care for that particular activity.
Now, another thing that I was like looking at and I was trying to figure out because I will say, guys, I know the difference in my big old age, right? Because I'm an adult now, but I may not have known this when I was younger. So I can't speak to young Carmen. I only can speak to older Carmen, right?
Right. Right.
Now, they were saying that women feel entitled to being with them after they have sex with them. And like for me, they feel like, why do women want a relationship when they are sleeping with them? And I understood why women do, right? So I'll say why I feel, and I want you to I want to ask you, like, do you feel like women don't have the right to want a relationship after having sex with you? Do you feel like it's naive of them to want a relationship after sex?
I think after all the red flags and you still want to have a relationship, that let me know something wrong with you as well. So I understand that from a point of view of if I'm already giving you signs that, you know what I'm saying, like I already said before, like ain't getting too deep. I'm moving a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? You know how you do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Men know what I'm talking about out there. You'll move a certain type of way, you know what I'm saying, to let them know that, hey, don't try to get too close. I'm cool. Now I'm gonna be me. I'm cool. I know I'm cool. I know how to have conversation. But I'm also giving you know how it is when you with somebody you want to be with, your boo, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that you want to fought with. You're gonna be a little bit more attentive. But in this case, I'm not being attentive at all. You know what I'm saying? So now for you to want to have a relationship, that's a little bit extra. That's a little bit extra right there. So I definitely understand what they said, what they mean when they come from like, oh, you want to have a relationship right after we just had sex. And the crazy thing is, I dropped a song last night on SoundCloud. You can go check that out on my SoundCloud. And it kind of hit on that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I kind of went a little ratchet with it, but you know what I'm saying? It
What's the
talks
song
just
called
about
though?
that.
You gotta let us know what the song is called.
Oh yeah,
So
it's called What's Free. What's Free. I just dropped it last night at 11:30 p.m. on SoundCloud. It's a little freestyle I did, and it's called What's Free. I use that what her name is, Tim's. You know the girl that sang with Where's the
I,
Kid, Essence,
mm-hmm,
but she got a
mm-hmm.
song called Free Mind. I really love that song. And I just told the dude put it on, was in the studio session, and I just chopped it up. But it hit on this same topic, whereas women expect you to be in a relationship with them as soon as you had sex with them. And I don't think that's how it works.
See, when I heard that, so I know that now, right? In my big old age, I know that you can have sex with somebody and they not want a relationship with you. And this can go both ways for women and for men. Because there's women out there
Mm-hmm.
who just like, look, this was only sex. I don't want to be with you. Like, you know, and this is for people in general. But again, this goes into like soul ties. Like, if you're having sex with someone continuously, or if you're having, because there's some people out there that's a little reckless and they having raw sex with a person now. So now that tie is like, again, intrinsic versus extrinsic. And they are starting to feel like they love this person more than what they really do because they are feeling them in a different way. And now they're feeling like, oh, I want to be with this person, but in all actuality, it's just that soul tie, what they're transferring to you intrinsically, making you feel as if you guys need to be together. But again,
Mm.
they gave you those red flags.
Right.
So
Right.
it's about perspective. And that's why now at my big old age, as a grown woman, I'm not just out there having sex with anybody because it's not worth it. I'm not giving you dear to me for you to just throw away. No,
Facts.
that's not how it goes. And to me, I don't feel like sex is just sex. So I'm not going to allow myself to be hurt or my mind to be disrupted or my soul to be disrupted by just allowing anyone to have my vagina.
Facts.
So I feel like it's not that all women, it's just sometimes men can come off as if they want to be in a
Mm.
relationship with women
My
so they
fault.
can keep getting that.
My fault. That is very true. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to exclude them, but that's very true. You got a lot of men doing that. You know what I'm saying? To give those hubby vibes and all that. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be in a relationship with you just to get the vagina and then to move on. So let me excuse all of those right there, true, because I do not respect that as well. So that right there is very true, and that's what happens a lot too.
Because I've seen it like with a lot of women who feel like, or like if they, well, I don't excuse it. I don't think that that's okay to do. Like when they're sleeping with like a married man and they be like, oh, he's gonna leave his wife and he loves me and he wants to be with me. No, he's telling you that because he wants to continue sleeping with you, but he's not
Mm.
going to leave his wife. He's not going to. You need to move
Facts.
on. Like for you to think because you're having sex with this man every Thursday doesn't mean y'all gonna be together. It just means you have sex with this man every Thursday.
Mm. That's facts. That's big facts.
He may buy you gifts or take you out or cuddle you afterwards, but that doesn't constitute a relationship. It's just your Thursday.
That's your day.
Like the weekend said, Thursday on Thursday. Do not call me unless it's Thursday. That's right.
Nah, fact. That's real true though. That's very true. And it goes vice versa. Like, you know what I'm saying? I hate to make it, you know what I'm saying, one sided. Sometimes the situation kind of seems one sided, but it goes vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Women have a hand in that too as well, you know what I'm saying? Or that feeling that they feel, you know what I'm saying, causing on themselves in that particular sense, what you just brung up.
Because there was another topic that they said no one hurts you more than a man that you like. And I think that can go both ways. A woman that you like, because there's men who go after women that they can't get or they want to be with, but the woman doesn't want to be with them, and they're constantly hurting themselves by keep going through that vicious cycle, right?
Right.
So I could say people. So I'll rephrase that. No one hurts you more than a person you like.
That's true. That's true. Because you're gonna be a little bit more vulnerable with them. You're gonna allow them to do certain things that you wouldn't, or you're gonna let them push certain boundaries that you wouldn't let another person do. So when you let your emotions, you know what I'm saying, hang out on your sleeve with somebody that you like, you trying to impress them, trying to make that you on your best behavior, trying to make sure you understanding what they like and all that stuff. You put all that time and that attention in, and they ain't giving you none in return. That's that hurt.
But you don't think that that's to me? I feel like that's masochistic. Like for me, I'm not going to self-inflict myself with injury continuously. Like I don't get any pleasure out of that. Like that's like going. If you show me one time you don't like me, I'm out of there. Why
That's
you not
how I
calling me
feel.
nigga? You don't like me. Why am I keep calling you?
That's exactly how I feel, but it seems like the majority of people they like pain. I think it's to the point where like certain people need pain or they think pain is love, or in that sense, like you know what I'm saying, or they don't have no self-worth in the sense where they don't know themselves and they keep throwing themselves at a statistic because Instagram said you need to be with somebody like that, but you ain't even make no upgrades to yourself yet to even get on somebody like that level, you know. So a lot of times people just need to look in the mirror and really start to love themselves and look at themselves and say, you know what, if I'm gonna go get somebody like that, let me get on my A game then. How about that? Let me make sure I hit all the corners. If you're gonna be chasing that dream, you better make sure you on your job every day, you eating right, you make sure you doing your beauty, you know what I'm saying, getting your beauty sleep, eating good, taking all your regimens, you know what I'm saying. Now I can say, you know what, I'm in that league. And maybe you'll have some self-worth after that too. But you know, but a lot of times people just be in their normal state trying to go after a dream or the American dream, you know what I'm saying? That usually ain't really attainable.
Because let me tell you, I had a stalker before, guys, and that was not fun. That one in Florida, that guy was not fun at all. Damn. But then I had one guy as of recently, and he would not leave me alone. And he would find me on Instagram. He would keep making new Instagrams, and his Instagram names would really be like, "Yeah, it's me again," like letting me know,
what the fuck,
like I'm coming back, like you know what I mean. And it's like, come on now. And I remember him sending me a video because he was sending me videos, and I would watch them and laugh. And I know it's wrong to do, and I stopped. And he had sent me one that I know I'm ugly, but I got money though, and I can take care of you. And and I finally responded. I said, "Why are you calling yourself ugly? What do you got going on that you really feel like you need to call yourself names in order to make me feel good to talk to you?" I said, "Stop doing that." I said, "Don't call yourself ugly again."
Did he leave you alone after you said that?
No, he didn't. What made him leave me alone, because he kept bringing up his money. I said, "Nigga, I got money too. I got like for real money. So stop calling me. I'm not going to move to the Bronx. I'm not going to do all of that. Leave me the fuck alone. Stop." Wow. And that's when he left me alone. Because like, I hate that, like, oh, I got money. And you know, I'm humble, but I'm good, bro. Do I look like I'm struggling? Like, you know, like, do I look like I need you to take care of me? I don't need a father. Right. You know, my father's gone. Now, if you want to be a partner, hit me up.
Facts.
But I don't need a father. I'm good. No, so fair. He left me alone when I broke it down to him like that. And he left me alone. He'll still like my stuff.
Do you have dry and dull skin? Well, we have the solution for you. With Indira Skincare's facial oils, you can strengthen your skin's barrier to trap moisture and hydrate your skin to reveal a beautiful and natural glow. And when I say glow, honey, I mean glow. Also, there's the vibrating pink jade face roller that is used to stimulate facial oil absorption while reducing fine lines and wrinkles with an extension to depuff and reduce dark circles under your eyes. Endura Skincare is not only here to reveal your natural glow, we are here to help our community. As you know, I lost my best friend Maciel due to domestic violence back in April, which inspired me to help women in similar situations through a nonprofit organization, Her Justice. Her Justice stands with women living in poverty in New York City by recruiting and mentoring volunteer lawyers to provide free legal help to address issues such as individual and systemic legal barriers. Unlike Maciel, their clients, about 80% of them, whom are survivors of intimate partner violence, have urgent legal needs in the areas of family, matrimonial, and immigration law. By engaging in advocacy, partnering with community based organizations, and leveraging the pro bono power, Her Justice is working to close that gap to access to justice, particularly for survivors of intimate partner violence and gender based violence. Now, Maciel loved the rose formula and used it daily on her face and her body, okay? Proceeds from the purchase of the rose formula will go to Her Justice to help fight injustices placed against women. With every purchase of the rose formula, you will be supporting women who are struggling in so many ways. This is my way for Masi to give back in spirit. So I want you to go to indiraskincare.com to make your purchase today. And you also can find out more information about how you can support Her Justice.
That let you know what that person at in their head. You know what I'm saying? That's a toxic trait. You know what I'm saying? Kind of on the other perspective, as somebody that's automatically like, you know what I'm saying, keep boosting themselves up. You look at that too as well. Like, why you keep hyping yourself up? You know what I'm saying? So you can look at both ends and be like, yo, like red flag, red flag. And that dude obviously was a red flag, stalking you and everything. So,
Mm-mm.
mm-mm.
Na- Now, like, so he thought that the money was gonna drag me in and keep me where I don't need it. Like, I don't need to be taken care of. Now, for you, like, what do you feel is important uh for a woman to keep you? Like, what do you? And I know that sounds weird to people out there. I don't mean it like that because we're gonna touch on my perspective too.
Right?
And but people have to realize that just waking up and being pretty every day is not gonna keep somebody.
Show and learn.
So, like, to you, for you, I'm not even gonna talk about what they talked about because you guys should already know it was some negative ass shit. It was
I
some
already know
real,
it.
some real negative ass, Gilead shit that nobody wants to deal with. For
Right.
you, what do you feel like?
I think what I feel like to keep me is accountability. And I think accountability starts with your damn self. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? How you take care of yourself. How do you groom yourself? How do you speak to yourself? What type of energy you got? You know what I'm saying? Where you come from? Or what do you do? You know what I'm saying? Accountability, you know what I'm saying? Me seeing accountability in you, like through yourself, like damn, she really take care of herself, she loves herself. You know what I'm saying? She know what she doing, she can talk, she can speak, she got, you know what I'm saying, she got conversation. You know what I'm saying? She multitasking in many different areas. You know what I'm saying? She got accountability. You know what I'm saying? Sparkling. That's glowing. You glowing with accountability. That's what really keep me. You know what I'm saying? So that I know that you love yourself and you'll treat yourself. That means you got some self worth. That means you'll never go under yourself or do something that's beneath you. In a sense, because you've proved over time that you can stay down and be accountable. So, and that comes with money too as well. If you're accountable person. Money probably ain't gonna be too far behind. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Society. So, you know what I'm saying? That means you can take care of yourself too as well. You know what I'm saying? I love somebody that's independent too as well. But the accountability is what lets me know all these things, like, because you can be accountable on your damn self. So that let me know, okay, if I'm over here and I got to go take care of something over here, I know you can hold down the fortress if anything happens, or vice versa. That's what let me know, okay, that's a real ass motherfucker right there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Fuck. You know what I'm saying? So I think accountability go a long way. It hits a lot of areas.
I do too. Like I agree with you on that, because for me, accountability is one thing, and I know this sounds weird, people, but reassurance. So like I feel like accountability one, yes, because I'm a very busy person. And what people don't understand is I'm accountable for that. So I let you know, like I'm only available 1 day a week, but it's gonna be a quality day, you know.
Right, right.
Or I only could talk for an hour a night, right? And this is just for now, because I'm getting my PhD. I have to work out. I have to do I have to work. I have to study. I have so many things that I have to do. I have the podcast. I have a business. So when I'm dating someone, I have to make sure that they are okay with my lifestyle, that I'm a busy person and that I have things that I am working towards, goals that I'm trying to reach. And you need to be accountable for yourself. And I know everyone shouldn't have a lot of goals, right? Everybody should be able to live their life. But if you're not reaching towards anything, you're going to look at me as unstable. I've had guys tell me, oh, you're just unstable and you just don't want to sit down. It's like, no, you don't have any goals. So my goals are inconvenience to you because you're just going to work and coming home. You're not working out. You're not like nothing. There's nothing other than just working home for you. So me being a busy person doesn't work for you.
Facts.
And
And that,
so that doesn't work for me. So I feel like having some sort of passion works for me, because then you're not focusing solely on me. Because I don't need someone that's gonna focus solely on me. That's gonna make me feel like you're a stalker, and I'm gonna start feeling away. So for me, like, to keep it man, I need someone who's gonna be like passionate about something, and also accountable for their actions. So if you do something wrong, be accountable. Say, yes, I did that. I'm sorry. How can we move forward? Or
right.
just like if I do something, I'm gonna apologize. Say sorry. How can I move forward? You know, but
Right.
accountability and passion for
I
me.
like that. I like that passion part, because that's a big thing too. Because I know I'm a very passionate person. I can be intense at times, especially with certain goals or getting towards something, or even just getting to the store and coming back home. So I need some type of passion, like, you know what I'm saying, to let me know that, hey, or that passion can kind of go along with reassurance that, hey, we in, like, let's go get this done, even if it's on the other side, nah, I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Show me some type of passion, some type of direction, so I can have an understanding. You know what I'm saying? So I like that passion. I like passion when, you know what I'm saying. That's a good one. I like
And people don't
it.
understand, when you have a passionate partner, if you're going through it, like I would never forget my last week. I was doing a pop-up shop, Antwan, and I got anxiety because the internet was down, my thing wasn't working, and I could be an anxious, I could be a lot. I'm a lot of a person. I know that I am. I am a lot. So I literally was having a whole breakdown. But because he was passionate about not only himself, but for my goals, he took me aside, took me outside of the venue, looked me in my eyes, made me breathe, go through the breathing motions. We looked for solutions. We found solutions, found them right away. And before the pop up shop began, we were ready to go, and we found a way to get things to work, right?
Facts, facts.
Because he was passionate, not only passionate about his dream, but also he was passionate about mine. And when I was insecure, I wasn't able to move forward with my passion, he picked it up and said, nope, this is not what we're going to do. We're going to do this, and we're going to find some solutions, and we're going to move forward, because it's easy to give up and it's easy to fail, but it's not easy to keep going. So
Mm-hmm.
you need that, again, that passion. You need it.
Passion. You need it. We all need it. We all need it. Even though we can be burning with passion, you need somebody else right by your side with just as much. Because, you know, that's that reassurance. You know what I'm saying? To let you know that, okay, your burning passion ain't you know what I'm saying, it's worth something. It means something. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need that push to keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? So that passion goes both ways. You need a passionate partner.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't know about y'all out there. I hope, when I do post this, I want to hear from you guys on my Instagram post. Like, what do y'all feel? And I'm definitely gonna bring this up during the Tequila Tuesday because I need to know what people are looking for. Because some people are looking for simply somebody who know how to cook.
Or just somebody to look at. For
Yeah,
real.
for real. But I feel like those are surface things, and I feel like people need to start digging beyond the surface and go deeper. And this is what people are lacking, and they need to start thinking a little more. Now, with relationships, I know this, and I've had some funny stories come my way. Okay, sacrificing and compromising. Sacrificing versus compromising in order to have a relationship. Now, I have tons of opinions on that. But what do you feel is the difference between sacrificing and compromising to be in a relationship?
I think the difference between a sacrifice and a compromise is that I look at sacrifice as something a little bit more extreme. Not, and I don't want to say extreme to be on the toxic to make it sound like something bad or something that's not needed. But I want to kind of clarify that a sacrifice is something that you say, you know what, this is my true partner, and I'm finna sacrifice this, or I'm gonna sacrifice a piece of myself for this cause because I'm passionate about this person or whatever cause it is. A compromise, on the other hand, a difference between that one, and I don't want to minimize a compromise either, but compromise is simply, I give an example of, oh, I like fish, you like shrimp. What we gonna have tonight? Fish and shrimp.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
I think they both go hand in hand, but the difference should be, you know what I'm saying, should be in your heart. It's you should know the difference between the both.
Exactly. Like a sacrifice is like, well, since you like fish and you hate shrimp, I'm just never gonna have shrimp anymore to make you happy. That sucks.
That's if you want a partner that's gonna literally sacrifice them loving fish to satisfy you, then I'll let you know who you is and who they is too. You know what I'm saying? For them to even let you do that.
Exactly. And I've heard, and they talked about that in the I agreed with them on that they felt like a lot of women feel like they should sacrifice their true self in order to be in a relationship with them, and they didn't like that. And that resonated with me because I feel like that also. Like I would tell a lot of my friends, and I have somebody that I know who every time she gets in a relationship, she was like, well, he hangs out with his friends on Thursday and they do this, and he's in a relationship now and he needs to know that a man doesn't go out on Thursday. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's a human. And if on Thursday him and his friends get together and bowl or do whatever every Thursday, that's a part of him. For you to take that away from him is going to make him miserable and be a bad man to you. Because he's going to find ways to lie or to deceive you in order to continue that part of his life.
Very true.
I don't feel like a person should have to remove who they are to be in a relationship. Now, you can make compromises and say you went Monday and Thursday. Say, well, I only could do Thursdays now because Mondays I go out. You know what I mean? But
right.
To eliminate it is crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy talk. And
that's crazy.
To kind of elaborate on that, that's very true. I wouldn't say it's for all women, but that's very true. I have experienced that in the past, relationships, whereas a person was okay, boom, I started liking the person for the things that they were doing on the outside when I wasn't with them. Like, damn, I think she's dope because she do this, she do that. Next thing you know, we end up together. Now they ain't even doing those things no more. They stopped their passion. You know what I'm saying? They stopped having passion about the things that they were passionate about, and start worrying about, not saying that they weren't doing the right things, but they didn't have that spark no more that I like, because they stopped doing the things that they, they sacrificed themselves to be in this relationship. And that's kind of you can start feeling that energy too as well, where it starts to get a little smothering when they sacrifice, the things they sacrifice themselves the thing that I liked them for, you know what I'm saying, that passion that they had to keep the relationship floating, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely been on that side where, like, you know what I'm saying, a woman would sacrifice their passion and they expect you to do the same too as well.
Exactly. And like, I don't like this one person that, and I'm not gonna say who it is, because if I say who, like anything remote, she gonna know who I'm talking about and be like, you're talking about me. So so I'm not even, but we've had conversation before and she was like, well, what don't you feel? And I'm like, no, because I'm not gonna do it. I'm not sacrificing anything. On Fridays, I like to go to the comedy show at Copper Spoon on Fridays. I like to do that. And if you want to be with me, we going. I'm not staying in the house and watching football because you want to sit in the house to be in a relationship. Then maybe you need a friend. Maybe you need a friend. You know, like, do you have any friends that you could watch football with on Fridays? Because I'm not your, well, I am your friend, but this is what I like to do. So I feel like people don't understand that in order to be with someone, you don't have to sacrifice yourself. I feel like you should be able to be an individual in a partnership. I want to be myself completely, wholeheartedly. I don't want to be somebody else.
Facts.
I also don't want anyone else to change who they are for me, because I like you. And if you're changing who you are, that's, like you said, that's not the person I met.
That's not who I met. You feel me? That's not who I married or whatever the case may be.
Like, who is this person? I don't know who walk out my house.
That happens. That one hit home right there. I know that hit home to a lot of people.
It definitely did. It definitely did. Now, I remember you. We were talking about patience, right? We were talking about patience, and you had said something to me that I feel like people would benefit from, and it was like the mango tree analogy that you created to help with being patient with your partner.
Oh yes. You know what I'm saying? Not only for your partner in life as well.
Mm-hmm.
But you can use it, you know what I'm saying, whatever helps you out in life, you know what I'm saying? It's just like one of the things you can use for every scenario. But one day I was in the yard and I was chilling, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, I was smoking. You know what I'm saying? Smoking some weed, you know what I'm saying? Chilling, vibing. It was a nice day. Then I started to look at the mango tree. For some reason, my eyes just went on the mango tree and I couldn't get my eyes off the mango tree. And at that moment, I started to be thankful for that mango tree, because ever since I was a kid, that tree been bringing mangoes every mango season. It ain't missed a season yet.
Mm.
And that started to make me think about life. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got life all around us. We see you know what I'm saying? We see what life is supposed to be about around us in metaphors or whatever you want to, you know what I'm saying, look at it through. But that mango tree kind of let me, you know what I'm saying, gave me a perspective on seasons. And you can use it in a relationship too, wise, in the sense where in order for me to commit, I got to see you through every season.
Mm-hmm.
So I can have faith in this mango tree, because through every season, you know what I'm saying, through its drought, throughout everything, it came back blooming mangoes, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, I still had to water it. I still had to take care of it. I still had to be tentative to it, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a goal or something that you want to accomplish or a passion of yours. But throughout the seasons, that mango still brought fruit. It was still fruitful because I did my part, and you know what I'm saying, and the mango did his part. So that patience right there, that patience to understand, to listen, to see, I think that goes a long way.
It definitely does. And I'm happy. I wanted to end it on that because I felt like, but no matter what it is, like you said, whether it's a goal, whether it's a relationship, if you're willing to weather the storm and nurture it and help it grow and be patient, the pleasure or the rewards that you will reap from being patient is much greater than just giving up. So I really like that. Thank you for that.
All right. No, it's a pleasure.
Well, thank you so much for coming to give us your perspective in a healthy way.
Always.
In a healthy way. Don't forget, guys, tomorrow is Tequila Tuesdays on Instagram Live. I want you to bring your tequila, no matter what it is, because everybody was like, "Oh, stop talking shit about Patron or whatever." So no matter what it is, come and join me and my friends for some hot topics, hot tea, and laughter. Don't forget to share. Please, please, please share Where Did I Put My Glasses with your family and friends. Click follow or subscribe on your preferred podcasting platforms to stay updated on the latest episodes. and give me 5 stars, guys. You know you want to.
5 stars.
Also, go to wheredidiputmyglasses.com to sign up to be on our email list and to find out more information on me or how you can help Where Did I Put My Glasses become greater. And to interact with me directly, go to Instagram or Facebook at Where Did I Put My Glasses for your thoughts, questions, or comments on today's episode. Thank you so much, Tweet.
Always a pleasure.